Hello everybody, welcome back to Mario vs. Donkey Kong 2 Margin of Minis. So in the last part we went for the first 6 levels of Pipeworks. And now for this one, we are going to be finishing things up with this floor. We're going to face up against the next battle against Donkey Kong. And then if I've got some extra time, then I'll probably will get things started with the next floor afterwards. Yeah. But anyways, now with the 7th level of the floor, yeah, we once again have Thwomps. We have Thwomps and we have conveyor belts, and we also got a golden Mario. Which means, once again, I'm gonna have to try my best to make sure that I not only get the golden Mario in the door last, and while at the same time making sure that I can get the next letter without getting myself hurt by that Thwomp. Okay, but anyways, everyone. Now, as I'm trying my best to go through all this again, now I guess there are some things that I can't talk about as I am just gonna be going through with this. Now for one, now, as you may have saw with the last Shy Guy Smash, Shy Guy Smash level, is that it is actually the only time where you ever get to see bombs. Well, here's the thing. When you go through a construction zone, so that you can create your own levels. There is actually one new enemy that we are not gonna see in any of the actual levels in this whole entire game, but we do see them, but we do use them, but they do show up in the construction zone. They are called bomb fish. Yeah, you may not have realized that apparently this game made fish to actually, yeah, bombs that look like fish. Yeah, that's something that we don't see anywhere, really. But anyways, everyone, now with how the bomb fish work is that if a mini Donkey Kong gets close to them, then they will rise to the water surface and then they explode. Yeah, this may be one of the few enemies that actually helps you. That actually helps you get through a level. Yeah. Well, more so one of the more custom ones, that is. Yeah. Now it explains as to, yeah, why we don't see anything of that we don't see any bomb fish within the actual main levels, and within any actual main levels of this game. But anyways, everyone. Oh yes, right, everyone. And speaking of the construction zone, now with the water valves that you may have saw within within the second level of this floor. Yeah, the water valves are, I want to say, one of the few things that don't show up within the construction zone, because the developers thought it might be a little bit too complicated for you to work with the ability to control the water and whatnot. So yeah, hence why we only really see the water valves really only be utilized for, I want to say, for only 2 levels in the entire game. Yeah. which really makes you question, like, why did they even bother making water valves for only 2 levels when you're not even gonna bother utilizing them ever, like, within anywhere else? Yeah, I still think that's really odd to me. But anyways, yes, another one. Now back to the actual game itself. Yeah, what you're seeing here is, what you see here is that, yeah, they also, they, once again utilize the, color switchers and the, colored, like, bridges again. So, yeah. Yeah, I may have said this in a previous video, but expect to see multiple colored switches be utilized for multiple levels of the game. Yeah, just like how they were utilized quite a lot within the previous Mario vs. Donkey Kong game. Yeah. But anyways, no. And I think that should be gold, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so it looks like I've gotten... Yeah, I've only got like 3 silvers on this floor and also like 4 golds. Which I'd say is not too shabby, I suppose. Okay, now for the last level on this floor. Yeah, we not only have once again colored switches, but we also once again have some thwomps, and we also have spikes, and we once again have Crash Kongs. So now I want to say, if you want to have yourself a best chance to be able to get through this without getting stuff crushed too much, now we may have to move around the Marios in such a way that we don't want to avoid them getting crushed or get themselves knocked off into spikes and whatnot. But anyways, everyone, now I'm just gonna be going for this last level on this floor. I guess I should go over my overall thoughts when it comes to the music that we have heard so far within this game. First off, the first floor music, or more so the ground floor, I should say. I'd say that music is still, I'd say that music is still, just as good as it was within the, as it was in the previous game. Now, the same also goes for Tropical Island / Turmoil's music, and the same also goes for, the boss music that was also utilized in the previous Mario vs. Donkey Kong. That was also utilized in the previous Mario vs. Donkey Kong game. Yeah. I mean, all of those previous music tracks. Yeah, they still sound just as good as they did before. Then as for this floor's music, I said this one is decent enough, I suppose. Yeah, I don't really find this floor's music any all that special, really. Yeah, it's not exactly one of my particular favorites. Yeah, I just want this one to be decent enough for me. Alright, now once again, we've gone through every floor. Well, I've only got up to 29 Mario instead of 30, but like I said, I was gonna try my best to make sure I got every mini Mario for the door, but sometimes levels can be, but sometimes these levels can be a major bitch to deal with. But anyways, as you can see for this level, these bombs really like to mess with you as you're trying your best to make sure that you get every shiny guy as possible, but they may end up showing up at the places where you probably do not want them to be. Yeah. But anyways, at the very least, I was able to clear that one. Okay, everyone. Now for the boss fight against Donkey Kong on this floor. Now, I will say this. I want to say that this floor is not exactly too challenging, but I do consider it one of the longest Donkey Kong fights that you'll ever go through in this game. Because, well, as you see here, ow, yeah, that was fast. But anyways, now as you see here, now if you want to have yourself a chance to hit on Donkey Kong, I will say wait until the majority of his body comes out of the pipes. And sometimes Donkey Kong may do like a fake out on you as you can see that he slightly just he just palms his head out, and then he quickly just puts his head and then he quickly goes back in. Yeah, Donkey Kong may usually sometimes do a little bit of fake outs here and there. Now the main reason why I say it's the longest that you ever go through, the longest fight you ever go through in this game, is because of whenever you're about to wait for you to be able to hit a Donkey Kong, and also after you have hit him too. Because because of the fireballs from the Piranha Plants. That's essentially what I mean about this level. That this boss fight may take longer than you would normally would go through, because you essentially have to wait until the Piranha Plants have done shooting their fireballs, and sometimes they shoot out more than one. Yeah, more than one in a row. So, yeah. But like I said, the fight itself isn't too bad, it's just, it may take you longer than expected. But as everyone, now for the next floor in the game, it's called Magnet Mania. Now, as you could probably tell by the name, being a magnet, yeah, throughout basically, I want to say for the majority of the levels I want to say for the majority of the levels on this floor, there's gonna be multiple. Now we have these metallic metallic-like platforms here. Now these are how the mini Marios can actually not only walk on the walls, and they can also they can also walk upside down too, which means for this floor you really have to make sure that the mini Marios are going in the way that you want them to go, but sometimes it can also be very disorienting at times too. If you don't know where the positioning, where exactly you want the mini Marios to go. Yeah, so essentially, just try your best to figure out which direction where you want the mini Marios to go, so you can make sure that they go in the direction where you actually want them to go. Yeah. And especially when they're walking on the sideways, and also upside down too. Oh yeah, and also everyone. Now for this floor as well. Now we also have these metallic blocks, which act very similar to the pink blocks, where you can get rid of and fill them, and also fill them in too. Yeah, but with these blocks, so you can not only walk on walls with them, but you can also walk upside down on them too. So yeah, you're definitely gonna be doing this also essentially for quite a lot when it comes to this floor. Yeah, and I mean a lot. Oh yeah, and as you may be hearing right now, yeah, the music that they utilize for this floor. Yeah, you may recognize this if you've essentially played any Mario game at this point in your life. This floor really loves to, this floor utilizes the underground theme. The very same underground theme that you've heard in many other Mario games. So if you have heard them once, then you've definitely have heard it before. So essentially, if you have heard it once, then you have heard it everywhere. But as one, now as you see for this floor, we now have these swing bars. Now I want to say while they may look very similar to the swinging bars that we saw, that you may have saw within the previous Mario vs. Donkey Kong game, where you essentially have Mario be on the bar, and whenever Mario was on it, then you can actually make him swing, so then you can actually have him jump very, very, very high. So essentially, I want to say it works. I want to say very similar to the previous Mario vs. Donkey Kong games swinging bars. But as you can see here, if you just happen to have multiple if the bars are long enough, you can actually have multiple mini Marios should be on the same bar at once, and also when you start swinging, then every single mini Mario that is on it, then they will start spinning. Shit. I probably should have moved that before I started to jump like that. How about I try that again? But first, let me actually try to get the letter first before I do anything else. There we go. Now that way, then I can really just focus on trying to get not only more points, and I can also try to get the mini Marios onto the swing bar, and also try to get and this time I can also try to get the coins without having the mini Marios screw me over this time. Excuse me. But anyways, okay, now that we have these guys here, okay, now I need to make sure that I get those blocks filled in, so I'm gonna have these mini Marios jump up right towards it. And okay, I got at least two, and oh god, come on, get up there. Okay, got a chain, good. Now you got up there. Okay, good. Whew. Okay, now at least, that's probably what you're gonna have to do if you want to get every single mini Mario into that door, while at the same time trying your best to get yourself the perfect chain. It can be a little tricky for you to maneuver with that. But once you got the timing down path, then I want to say it really shouldn't be too much trouble and whatnot. But anyways, that's right. Now starting with this level, we get ourselves introduced to the rotating from magnet sticks. Now, but however, though, these sticks will not rotate. They will not rotate by themselves. But instead, she'll now, when you have a Mini Mario, right near it, then you can essentially maneuver, then you can essentially, yeah, then you can flip them over to the other side. Yeah, so then you can essentially have the Mini Mario go to where you actually want them, for where you actually want the Mini Marios to actually go to. Yeah, and let's just say, for some other portions of this war on this one, and I guess I'll say this as well, for some portions of this floor as well, you're probably gonna be doing this for like the majority of this whole floor. Yeah, and especially when we get to the more difficult portions. For when we get to the more difficult, portions of the levels on this floor. Yeah, oh, yeah. For those of you who have played this game before, may know exactly what I am talking about. Oh, come on. I was trying my best to make sure that Mini Mario went down, but then he stopped, and for some reason I just could not get that thing to flip. There we go. Okay. Now, while I wasn't able to get the perfect combo, at least I was able to get the Mini Mario in there for last. And also I managed to get every single Mini Mario, through the door. So I suppose that's something, I guess, right? But we obviously did not get even a perfect chain on non-stop. But that said, I feel like that should be all good. I feel like that should be all I'm gonna do for this one. And so, until the next part, I'll see you guys next time!